my shoes, world on my shoulders, heart full of blues. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt.
Today's live stream is brought to us by Murder, Mystery, Haunted History. This is another channel that is a really great channel. Does really great live streams. Check it out. It's a great channel. You'll love it.
Hey, you're muted.
Thought I unmuted it. Morning, everybody. Okay, let me see. I think I got it. Oh. Okay, we'll leave it like that. So, got Justin and Christina's RV van life. Hey guys, how's it going? Jolly Matilda, the first member up in here. Haley, howdy, howdy, howdy. Desert Adventures in Arizona, howdy guys, and also a member. Oop, I just jumped chat really fast. Catherine, Cook, and Homer, howdy guys. CR View, another member, neighbor. Red-headed Riding Hood, another member. Hey, Red. Yeah, I didn't unmute. Let's see. Make sure I'm not skipping anybody. If I skipped anybody, stick your hand up so I can tell. Because chat just went. But morning, everybody. Let's see. I have 79 degrees here right now. I don't really even know what the high is. The high today is supposed to be 86. And we still have high pollen alert in the area. Humidity surprisingly is low, 25%. I'm really shocked with that. But we're starting to warm up. It's supposed to be 91 by Friday here. So, yep. There he is.
Yeah, my stuff wasn't uploading.
Somebody looks like you just crawled out of bed, too.
I've been up since right after Ava's live. If she went live, I wasn't sure because I woke up at like 7:08. Yeah, 7:08. These dogs giving me one of these pillows. But that's what time I was up.
Okay.
I went to make French toast this morning, but all the eggs were froze.
Oh, they ain't no good in that. Well, you can freeze eggs, but not in the shell.
I threw them out.
You can put them in a ice tray, the ice cube trays. You can freeze them that way.
Well, yeah, but they weren't in ice cube trays. They were in eggshells. Did you say hi to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Did you miss anybody?
I don't think so. Nobody said, hey, you forgot me. But chat did a big jump.
Here's our temperature right now. 85.
We're not far behind you today.
You guys got 90s coming.
Friday. We're 79 right now.
Wrong one. This one.
High today's 82.
Our high is 95. And then
hey, there's Cliff in Facebook. Hi,
what?
Cliffy. Cliff's in Facebook side.
Oh.
He said, I forgot him.
Got 102 on Sunday, but, you know. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Deserts. Steve says you can make scrambled eggs with those frozen eggs.
Oh, really? I thought they were ruined, so I threw them away.
Dogs would have ate them too. Let me see. I'll be right back.
You can make scrambled eggs with them, then you should be able to make French toast with them.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, I'm stepping down.
Yeah, I thought they were ruined. Alrighty. Hope everybody's having a great Memorial Day. We all know why we're here. Let me move this camera. There we go. Grab a drink of water. Yeah, so far pretty good Memorial Day. Just 85 degrees, nothing going on. I don't even know if Quartzsite's doing anything for the Memorial Day. There's nobody here. So it's hard to say if they are going to do anything. There might be 3,000 people here, maybe, if that. Maybe 2,000. Little town goes from 350,000 to 2,500 to 3,000 people for the summer. All right. Hopefully nobody snuck in here. Hey, Linda Barker. Howdy, howdy. Any more summer-like weather here? That's good. I have missed your lives. I've been pretty busy in the daytime. There's my buddy Cliff over there on Facebook. Hey, we get paid on YouTube there. That's my buddy back in Indiana. But yeah, so hopefully everybody's Memorial Day weekend went pretty good. Mine wasn't. My racing got rained out. It looks like the Infinity race is getting rained out again today. I'm hoping they get the 600 in. The 500, I watched that. That was a pretty good race. That really was. I thought my number 14 AJ Foyt car was going to win that with, I can't say, Faruqi, something like that. I thought for sure he might get that. It'd been like 27 years, I think, since that 14 car has won. Or placed in the top 5, maybe. Something like that. Been a long while. The ever shrinking and expanding little town. Yeah, I know it. It is a ghost town up there. Moose, how'd you get your dish? I thought I put that up. Apparently I didn't. Okay. Get caught up on the chat here. Stuff that I've missed. Oh, Kaylee, hope you get to feeling better.
Okay, I'm back. Had to pull hair up. Can't handle it. Down.
You know how I pull my hair up? I stuff it up under my hat.
Oh, you just hush.
CR View, howdy, howdy. Wasn't going live. Oh yeah, I seen you went over to Philly. I did see that.
Hey, Linda Barker.
Went around for lunch Friday. No one was around. Yeah, where was I Friday? Oh, the raid parade thing was going. Yeah. And this weekend on the 3rd, I'll be hosting the Saturday Stroll. Going to get a video out for that. I already got this week's raid parade video loaded. I cooked the hot dog in a Primo can, so that's what that video is about. You have to find out whether it worked or not. I thought about cooking a pizza on the 3rd, but that's going to be rushing it, so I ain't going to have time.
You're a goober anyway, so.
I love you too. But alrighty. So that's a nice cookout you guys had.
Yeah, I got the whole. We were trying to figure out how many great nieces and nephews I got. And I think I'm up to 10.
You're getting old.
I can't count Jacob and Isaac and Lexi and them. Because they're not my greats. They're my grandbabies.
They're regulars.
Yeah, they're my grandbabies, but great.
Red's going live tonight, so everybody be on the lookout for that one. Oh, sure, but my nerves when it's down. I love her hair though. She got pretty hair. She keeps wanting
I'm
to cut it
about
off.
to chop it. I'm about to
See,
chop it
see,
off.
see.
It's in the annoying stage where I could pull most of it up, but now I'm getting these really tight little banana curls in the back that actually are hard sometimes to brush out because the curls go so tight.
Oh yeah. Um, we need thoughts, prayers, good vibes, whatever you're into. For James and his wife Cindy Catniece. Did you
Okay.
hear? Did you hear?
No.
Their house burnt down.
Oh no,
They're okay.
they're all right.
Yeah, they're in good spirits about it. But really, what can you do? I was a kid when our house burnt. But yeah, he says they're doing good. I think they're staying with their daughter. I think.
Okay.
Um, but
I can't think of the dog's name today. I'm a little. I had to take a Benadryl. I already took a Benadryl today, so I'm a little.
make me feel old too. So
Puppy made it right. What about the doggy?
I'm not. I don't know the details.
Oh,
So
yeah, midnight. I was gonna say Maggie, but I knew it wasn't right.
yeah, I don't know all the details. I basically just found out this morning on Desert Adventures live stream,
Okay.
Desert Adventures in Arizona's live stream. But he was in the chat, so hopefully he'll
All
pop in
right.
here in a little while.
Well,
Board
material
man,
things.
aka Kenneth Oaks, howdy, 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 howdy.
Material things, even though some might have, personal meanings, they can be replaced, but your loved ones can't. And same way with a pet, they're your kids. So
Yeah,
hopefully midnight's all
lost
right.
everything. I was in 6th grade. We lost everything we had, except for one bed, one cedar chest.
That's still here. Brenda still has it.
My cousins have the bed. Um, I think that might have been it.
Yeah.
Have Cheetah will view, howdy, howdy, howdy. But I kind of know what they're going through, but yet I was 6 years old. So you can't replace those photos,
Memory photos.
stuff like that.
Yeah, my mom and dad went through. I think they had. I'd have to ask my brother, but I know they had one house fire when they were growing up. I wasn't born.
Yeah,
Mom,
they did get a new furnace put in there.
yeah, maybe that person didn't know what they were doing.
Speculation.
I know. Yeah, because the house looked like it wasn't.
They're modular. Look like
modular,
okay.
yeah.
But that I gotta say this about the modulars too. The manufactured homes. I've worked in them places, and it ain't nothing for a piece of drywall to go up and a nail get ran through a wire and it get overlooked because they're in a hurry there. They're just flipping stuff out, and that's problems that can happen
years later
down the road sometime. After it's been bought and lived in. Seen it a few times. Just Doreen Olson, howdy, howdy. I do believe they had insurance. I'm pretty sure they did.
they were renting though, so hopefully they had renter's insurance. Remember, because he said
I thought they owned it. Well, see, I don't know.
No, because something about the landlord and the furnace.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember James saying that.
Yep, I remember that.
Everybody was telling him to hold his rent until he got the furnace fixed, remember?
Yep, I remember that now.
So.
There's Doreen Olsen. Howdy, howdy.
I seen some of her pretty flower pictures.
James said the insurance is taken care of. I had thought he had mentioned they had insurance, but I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah, renter's insurance is a good thing.
Well, yeah. My mom and dad, when they were 6 years old, were at my future stepdad and his wife's house. But we're talking 30 years later when they become stepdad and that. Maybe 40 years. Um, they were talking to them that night about getting renter's insurance because we rented a farmhouse and we'd been in it for 5 years. Nice farmhouse too.
Yeah.
Had a big screen front porch and everything. My mom had wanted that house for a long time. Well, they're sitting at the kitchen table talking about looking into renter's insurance. Now, this is in 1982. A lot of people didn't have insurance or weren't required to get insurance and everything.
Yeah.
Insurance was, especially in our county, hardly anybody had insurance on anything. And so they were talking about getting renter's insurance. Well, in the meantime, while they're sitting at that table talking about getting renter's insurance, our house is burning down on Halloween night.
And you had a hard time trick-or-treating for a while. Even when the kids got older, he hated going out.
I still don't like leaving on Halloween night. I love taking the kids trick-or-treating. Don't get me wrong, but I'm always on edge Halloween night. But that's my favorite holiday too. I don't know. It's kind of odd. But yeah, you see me on Halloween night, I'm kind of edgy watching the home base and stuff,
But he would go with the kids. I don't know.
I'd still go with the kids.
I don't know who had more fun, Roy or the kids. Hey, Daily Dose of the Bible. Hey, Kenneth.
Thank you. I lost 2 dogs that night. And I ended up having to give my third one to my neighbor friend that I was in school with in 5th and 6th grade, because the house that we were going to get afterwards, I couldn't have my big German Shepherd. So luckily, Kathy took him. But he loved her. He loved her better than he loved me anyway. But I don't know that one. I don't know. I was all even as a kid going out trick or treating after that. I don't know. Becky used to get mad at me like, hey, just have fun. I was like, you ain't been there.
No, but you can't ruin it for your kids either.
No, we didn't ruin it I didn't ruin it for the kids.
No, but I'm just saying.
My mind, but yeah, it was always about the kids.
Yeah.
But I was always, hey, come on. As soon as trick or treating was done, it was load up, let's go. Yeah, lost 2 chihuahuas that night. Maybe 1 cat. I don't remember. No, the cats got out. That's right. The cats got out.
Yeah, but as the kids got a little bit bigger, it was more funner for him to watch them go. Well, when they were little, we would go. It traumatized them, but I didn't want it ruining our kids' holiday.
Yeah, I don't know if it so much traumatized me, but made me, I don't know, I guess maybe it did. Maybe I always thought about just being a little more aware, but the cause of the fire that night though was electrical. Nobody did anything, nothing like that.
It was nobody's fault.
Hey, Going Green Mom, I know it didn't feel like Monday today when I woke up. But then, what happened afterwards with that school teacher making fun of the clothes my mom sent me to school in the very next day that our house burnt. But she ended up having to apologize big time for that, though. Almost lost her job. I got sent to school, and Red Cross showed up. The only thing I had on was what I was wearing under my Halloween costume. I don't even think I had a coat that night. I may have had my coat. But that was it. I only had whatever I was wearing that night under my Halloween costume. Well, Red Cross showed up, and they brought these beige 70s looking clothes. One, it was corduroys was one of them. Had the bell bottoms on it.
I hate bell bottoms. I hate corduroys too.
Funky, like a Lifesavers color striped flannel shirt type thing that was long sleeve. It was all I had to wear. Of course, they brought toothpaste, toothbrushes.
They brought personal hygiene stuff and like that.
And I go into school the next day and I walk past my 6th grade math teacher, and that woman had enough nerve to look at me to another teacher and said, "I can't believe they sent that kid to school in those clothes. I wouldn't be caught dead in those clothes." Well, that teacher that she told that to went and told the principal exactly what she said,
Mr.
and
James.
Mr. James did not take too kindly to that. And she had to apologize to me in front of my class and everything. It was
I'd write your family a letter too.
had to write
She
apology
was.
letters, and she about lost her job, and as far as I'm concerned, she should have. But she hated me ever since that, and then I end up marrying her relative.
My mom didn't like her either, though. My
But yeah,
mom and her butt
nobody in
head.
the family liked this lady anyway. So,
She was.
but she was just one of them teachers that thought her crap didn't stink.
And she wouldn't have had the stuff she had if it wouldn't have been for her husband. Now, her husband was sweet.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
kind of turned me how I was against school at 6th grade too. And then 2 months later, my grandpa died, and then it was that was it for me for school. I didn't care after that. But yeah, that I,
We won't say what my mom called her.
especially one that had just lost their pets, all his toys and belongings, and darn near lost a loved one that night. We
Hey,
almost lost
Nash,
my cousin
Beverly.
Terry that night.
Oh,
Hey, howdy, guys, another member. My
But
cousin
yeah,
Terry, after they got the house, it might have been Dean. One of them, we almost lost one of them because after the fire department put the house out, the house was still standing. They went in
they do damage. They're not,
to see what they can find, and it was
I
good.
thought it was Terry.
I don't remember. No, I think it was
Terry.
Dean. No, I think it was
No,
Dean.
Dean was just a little bit older than you, Roy.
No. It was Dean. They went upstairs. They grabbed my sister's, or no, they grabbed something out of my sister's room. Well, my cousin Dean was walking across the middle of the room, and the floor was burnt thin enough to where he about fell through. And my cousin Terry turned around and grabbed him by his hands, and pulled him back up. He would have ended up in the basement, either dead or seriously hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, house fires are not fun. So if we can think about James and prayers and vibes and everything, they're going to need everyone that they can get right now.
That's okay, because my mom, I had her a few years later after Roy. And you know how they did that where you walk through the school at teacher and parent night? My mom and her got in it. My mom called her an old heifer.
That was open house.
Yeah, she called her an old heifer.
Yeah. They called that open house.
Yeah, my mom didn't like her from the get-go. And I don't remember what was said, and my mom said, "You're just an old heifer," or something.
Yeah, they can't seem to catch a break, can they, Going Green Mom?
No.
If anybody deserves one, it's them too, for sure.
Yeah. Well, there might be what do you call it, a blessing in disguise to get away from that landlord.
Possibility.
Yeah, gotta look at it that way.
Always try to find a positive in everything. No matter what it is, I always try to find a positive.
You got Naj, their house burnt. Oh wow, Jolly, yeah, old heifer.
That could be oh man.
Yeah, as my mom, she'd say some other words, but she was in school, so she called her an old heifer. And I think my mom had to go in and talk to Mr. James once or twice on her too. Because I don't remember what the deal was, but now mind you, she was my cousin on my maiden name, Singleton. But yet she was crappy to all of us Singletons. Dell, Heather, Margie, me, all four of us. She made our lives pretty rough in middle school, and my mom got her. Yeah, that was being her nice version, yo heifer. Roy knows my mom. Her and a doctor would go around too, but so she went into Mr. James because she couldn't get nowhere with, I can't remember, vice principal then. And my mom, it was our homework, you know. My mom brought everything into Mr. James, and you could tell I didn't erase and I didn't fix answers. Slapped them down on his desk, and she goes, "Tell me what's wrong with these grades." And Mr. James is like, "Well, she give me a D or F all the time on homework." Mom goes, "No, start looking at the answers." And Mr. James goes, "Well, that one's right." Mom goes, "Exactly." Mom goes, and you could tell that it hadn't been erased, or, where you fix it and correct it and all that. And he goes, "How long has this been going on?" Mom goes, "This will be the last time it goes on." And yeah, Mr. James got her on that. She was doing it to me and Heather and Margie. Now Dell just didn't do his homework, but us three girls did. But yeah, she was crappy with us. She had her pets too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your big plan for today?
Staying indoors. Everybody's mowing again.
Oh yeah. So ain't nobody mowing out here.
I wonder why.
Huh?
I said I wonder why. Yeah.
It is weird going into a hardware store out here and you don't see a lawnmower, riding mower, or a lawnmower for sale. You'll see weed eaters, but you won't see mowers unless you get into the big towns where they got grass and that was
Already, it got worse as I got older in high school. My junior year, I was ready to quit school because of my maiden name. I had a teacher that had my brother and sister, and he did the same thing. Now my brother just never did his work either, but my other sister accused her of cheating. So when I started in his classes, and I had him, I think, 3 times that year, I got stuck up front because he said I was a cheater. I would never graduate. I would quit school at 16 and have 3 or 4 kids before I was of 20. That's what he told me. But I was ready to walk out my junior year, and my dad told me, "Go ahead."
I was going to ask you, Steve, if you owned a lawnmower.
But he looked right at me and he goes, "If you quit, you're letting him win." And he goes, "We don't quit. We prove him wrong." So I graduated top 10 in my class, and I was supposed to shake his hand on the graduation stage. And instead I smacked my butt to tell him to kiss it, and I walked right on by. And when graduation was done, my mom goes, "I can't believe you did that." And my dad goes, "That's my girl." I refused to shake his hand. I refused to. Would not shake that man's hand. My art teacher was ready to go to war with him over me. But yeah.
All righty. Yep, Memorial Day.
Yeah.
No cutting of the grass today.
Baloney, I'm all congested today. I about had it with Indiana already. Oop, oop.
Y'all know the history of Memorial Day? How it all got started?
We're gonna let Roy give.
Because
Wait.
it probably isn't. It probably isn't what you were actually taught.
Hey, commercial time.
Okay, we'll cover that when we come back from the commercial for thanking the members.
Yeah.
But, I have to find it. I wasn't set up for it. There it is. There it is. All right, we'll be right back.
Slow down, mama. Why you talk so mean? Good Lord, Nashville, it ain't what it seems. Got nice clothes and nice shows. Boogie down at the bar. Fiddle tunes and homemade blues, but it always goes too far. Shooting pool, crack a jack, take off now and don't look back. But hey, don't you wanna play? Hold on, sugar, why you look so...
All righty. Well, back to Memorial Day. A lot of people think.
Hey, Tammy DeWitt.
What's up, Tammy? A lot of people think it got started in the late 1900s, early 1900s, 1920 something or something like that. Well, that necessarily isn't true. Memorial Day actually started in the Confederacy. Um, how it got started was, well, I think it was a bunch of nuns would go out to the soldiers' graves and they would put, I think it was a rose on their graves. Well, a Union officer seen them doing this, and it wasn't until like 1868 because they started doing that in like 66 or 65. But a Union officer seen them doing that, and he pushed for it to be spread across the rest of the states, and it eventually happened. But it took, gosh, it didn't take up till like 1920 something before the actual proclamation happened or dedication for it to be a holiday or something like that. But it actually started, and that's something that we're never taught of how it actually was started. But it was actually started in the Confederacy. And it wasn't really just honoring their Confederate soldiers. They were putting roses on like the Revolutionary Wars, the 1812, the Spanish American War. They were doing all that, and it carried over from that. And if it wasn't for those nuns doing that, we may not have this Memorial Day that we know of today. Um, so that's a lot of history that gets brushed under the rug, and I think that was one of them. But you
Yeah.
can Google it. You can Google it. It's all out there. Um, uh, and like I said, we can thank them nuns for the Memorial Day that we have today. And I forget which president it was that actually made it the actual holiday. But United States was actually celebrating Memorial Day before it was actually declared a federal holiday. This umbrella is useless today. But, you know, hey,
Amen.
11 free zip code list, and I think it might have been in Georgia, I think is where it had started. I
Yeah.
remember the state. But if you go back and you look at a lot of our holidays that we know, or federal holidays that we know today, a lot of them had originated in the South. And then we just went ahead and adopted them afterwards. But, yep, I'm hoping everybody has a great Memorial Day weekend.
Safe one.
It's about over with. Making lunch. I had toast. I only have 4 days, I think, or was it 3 days? Let me see here. There's one day. I have 3 days worth of oatmeal left. So I got pancakes and I had toast this morning. I really had my heart set on French toast, though. And then everybody started talking about French toast. And I said, that's got to be a coincidence. That's got to be a coincidence.
And then he threw the eggs out because they were frozen.
Yeah, because I thought once an egg freezes, it was done for.
No, because you see a lot of people, they're hacked for saving them. They put them in an ice cube tray, crack them, and put the yolks in there.
I never gave that a thought, too, but our eggs for the American Legion used to be frozen in a bag for scrambled.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on the race if they ever get it in today.
Let's see, what am I doing today? Nada. I ain't doing nothing.
I might go ahead and keep up with tradition and cook my last 2 hot dogs.
Yeah.
And then it's soup or noodles or spaghetti or some sort of pasta or pancakes for the rest of the month. This is the week that I enter. This is the final week of the month, so it's slim pickings around here. Well, it ain't really slim pickings. My choices are getting narrower now because I like to kind of run everything down by the end of the month and then refresh with.
It's easier to keep storage. Otherwise, you keep all this stuff and then we never eat it.
And then I run
a noodle casserole she sent you, Roy.
What?
Nettie said make a ramen noodle casserole.
I don't think I have all the ingredients for it right now. That did look good, though.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, this little responder thing that they gave me.
I'll be back.
It went off at 2:30 this morning and about gave me a heart attack. It went because I was low or high. It lost its what do you call it, connection to my arm. Yeah. Talk about freaking out. Something up by your head going. Meh, meh, meh. But yeah, Saturday we did a big family get together. I think I was my nephew that lives down in Florida. Not the youngest nieces, but second to youngest was missing, and then my niece Amy because her daughter was sick. That was all of my mom and dad's grandkids. It was actually, I think, missing besides a few of the, like my brother's stepkids. But yeah, pretty much all the biological grandkids were there, but 3. So, but it was nice. Yes, and I got to hold the little baby. He was a little cutie pie. Yeah, I about rolled off the bed because it, just sleeping good too, and it went off. But yep. It's funny because his name is Anakin after Star Wars, but he is just a little bitty baby doll. And I'm gonna say this: I am out of practice holding little ones that little. I think they had brats, hot dogs, hamburger. My sister-in-law made her famous taco salad. There was potato salad, veggie trays, fruit trays. Autumn made her crock pot chip dip. I think I made the peach cobbler part, and my brother, before we left, he took the rest of it. I said, he goes, how much is left in there? Because I told him I can make, a cobbler. And he's like, can you make peach? Yeah. So he took the rest. There's probably about 3 more servings. So when my great niece starts feeling better, me and her, I'm going to show her how to make the cobbler I make. Because she was upset because she was looking forward to the peach cobbler part too. So told her when she feels better, we'll make it together.
There. Had somebody out here.
Oh, hey, Judy's.
Then I looked out and I seen that trailer was gone, and I thought, oh gosh, I hope CRV grabbed that. So I go out and I'm looking, and this 4-wheeler is going away, or side by side. I didn't see the trailer, and I'm like, okay, the trailer's gone. CRV's truck's gone. Hopefully they got the trailer. Then I remember, wait, they parked the trailer over here on the other side of the rig.
Yeah, he said he was gonna leave the string running. He had to get busy.
Judy's Handmade Creations. Yep. Howdy.
So, but
yeah, it's slim pickings for sweets around here. So you know what I did to cure my sweet tooth last night?
Peanut butter, chocolate syrup.
That's about gone too.
Hold on.
Nope. I opened the can of vanilla frosting and started spooning it.
There goes that ringing, and I can't pick it up.
See? Here.
I'll tell for a few minutes.
Okay.
See bird things for hummingbird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, look.
No.
She's got bug out.
No, I'm staying in. No. Yeah, my voice. You can hear it.
No.
Calling me.
See, look up.
What?
I opened this last night and started spooning it.
Oh, jeez. You could have mixed it with peanut butter.
Again, she don't listen.
No, I was talking.
The peanut butter is about gone.
Oh, that was. I gotta figure out.
I only took 2. It says 2 tablespoons is a serving, so I only ate
10.
2 heaping tablespoons.
So it's about 8 of our regular ones.
You can't get 8 tablespoons on a tablespoon.
The way you heap?
I don't eat like that no more. You make it sound like I go nuts. I'm not getting diabetes. I don't like needles.
You don't have to have a needle.
I don't care. I don't. It just starts out that way.
Take the pill hard too. You got to threaten his life. All right.
We'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, it starts out that way.
That and it runs in my family. It's been a long generation. My
My dad's
grandma
side.
wasn't a sweet eater. My grandma bought off.
I do a big tablespoon myself. I do.
Making me hungry.
I was really hoping there was chocolate up there. My choice was vanilla or what was the other one? Hold on. I had 2 vanillas and 1.
Yeah, well, apparently I must have slept on my arm too long.
Cream
and it
cheese.
lost its connection. What?
Cream cheese was the other one.
Oh, you don't like cream cheese?
Not by itself.
No. So, but yep. But yeah, it lost connection last night and scared the bejeebers out of me.
And then there's practically backhoeing it into a bowl.
So,
Oh, you got a cookie mixes? Yep. I got cake
you got
mixes,
cake.
but my eggs froze and I threw them away.
You can use substitute for eggs too, Roy. Google it.
Oh yeah, like what do we got for a substitute for an egg? Nothing.
Mayo.
Huh?
Mayo.
We ain't got no mayo.
We did.
We did, but we don't have now.
Okay, you must have used it all.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, somebody gonna start crying.
Or
She's
applesauce. Don't,
looking at me.
applesauce don't last long around me.
Not with him. I don't like applesauce. Ugh.
Yeah, we ain't got Miracle Whip, mayo, or nothing. But yeah, if we get a jar of applesauce, it don't have a fighting chance at all. I like my applesauce. I like sweet applesauce. Bananas, you can use
Bananas don't last either with Roy.
Or you.
No, I won't. Come here. I know
Flax
they
seed,
left you. Turn
cheese.
around.
Eggs? Well, hello, Lulu. Yeah, from here on out, there's going to be chocolate icing up there just for emergencies.
It'd be the first thing going.
Right? I said, oh, yeah, we got chocolate frosting. I'll get that. Yeah. Oh, we got vanilla. We got cream cheese.
Yeah. My brother and sister-in-law left, so now they left me. They just went up the road.
You're in town. It's a street.
They're going to, I can't remember his name, that grows the flowers here in Knox.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I told them to go to him.
Yeah.
They're wanting flowers to help with the hummingbirds. And I said, you tell him what you want those flowers for. He'll point you to the right
gosh,
one.
what was his name? Good friend of mine, too.
I can't remember his name. Very nice young man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, his hanging flowers are beautiful.
Peanut butter is mandatory. And I'm making that jar stretch because I forgot to get an extra jar. I thought
Better put it on your list while you're thinking about it.
already on there.
Already on there?
Yeah, I got a good supply list going. I read it to you. I got Q-tips on my supply list. Jelly, which is, we don't get jelly, we get preservatives.
You went through all the jelly?
No.
Oh, okay.
You, of all people, should know better than that. I like having the other jar sitting there. If you open a jar, there should be another jar sitting there waiting to go.
Yeah, he's still in quartzite, Doreen.
Yep. Sitting right in the same spot.
Yep.
I got a box of saltines and Q-tips, jelly, 2 jars of peanut butter, big ones.
Should make it 3 with him.
Paper towels, I'm almost considering that. A box of saltines, because I got a box up there getting ready to be opened. 3 bags of dog's hip and joint, because I'm putting Jasper on it.
Is he starting to slow down?
He
Isn't
did
my
something
voice?
weird the other night that was okay. And 60 packs of oatmeal, a solar controller, an air conditioner, windshield covers, deodorant, 6 carabiners, paper bowls, plasticware, famidine, which is my heartburn stuff when I need it.
Dog food.
Pam, the spray Pam, not an actual Pam. 4 loaves of bread and chicken patties. I haven't made up my only thing I got to get is the main course stuff. That's it.
Dog food.
And
their crack.
It is.
Otherwise, Lulu's going to be beating him up.
I got a whole box yet back there that still ain't
Just
open. Plus their jar yet, dear.
Yeah. Just remember too, if you can't find what they like, Tractor Supply has that retriever food she likes in the 50-pound bag. But it's gotta be chicken.
You know how I am with that. I'm
What?
like your grandpa. They'll eat it eventually if they get hungry.
Hey, Miss Leah, happy Memorial
Leah.
Day.
Allergy meds for the fur babies. I got 2 bottles of that. I did find the other bottle of
Benadryl.
Benadryl that you had hid in the back of that corner of that drawer, which should not have been in there.
It probably flew back through there.
You always kept that up in the cabinets. So now we have 2 bottles. We have 1 pill and 1 capsule of Benadryl.
Okay.
Um,
They got doggy
I had to give
aspirin.
Jasper that aspirin the other night, and now let me tell you something. I think this dog was mad at me the rest of the night.
Oh,
We've got these doggy aspirins.
yeah.
He jumped off the bed the other night. He didn't yelp or nothing, but I noticed he was kind of limping a little bit, and he was holding his front leg straight out. And when he'd get up on the bed, he would curve it towards his chest like this. I couldn't find nothing in it. Of course, he doesn't really let you look at his feet
You don't
very
like
much.
his feet touched.
No, it's a fight to look at that dog's feet. I thought
You
maybe
also-
he had a sticker or something, which he
Well-
still might have. He still
Here?
might have.
He
What?
could have cracked a toenail too.
I looked. So I got out the doggy aspirins. We got these liver flavored doggy aspirins they're chewables.
He won't do it.
Well, apparently he needed 1.5 because he's what, 75 pounds?
No, he's 85
80?
probably.
All
83
right, well,
to
he got
85.
1.5. He got 1.5 aspirins, and which really helped him. By the way, he was fine after that, and he only needed the one time to take it one time. He was fine all day yesterday and fine today. Well, he wouldn't touch that pill. That dog, Moose might too. I don't know. But 99.9% of humans do not like liver to start with. So, why make a liver flavored pill for a dog is beyond me. So I had to take this pill, and I smeared it with peanut butter, and I wrapped it up in bread and made this little pocket with peanut butter and stuffed that pill in there and everything. And he ate that, and I swear the look on his face when he got to that liver pill was like, I hate you, Dad. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I would hate me too if somebody would ruin my peanut butter with the taste of liver. I would hate me for life. But, hey.
He's hard to get
Hold on, it's
medicine.
Fascinator. Hold on, we hold on, Jeff.
Potato salad double. That's the only thing that was missing Saturday was the deviled eggs.
Man, potato salad sounds good.
Yeah.
I have zero self-control with chocolate. That's odd. An actual married couple both like liver.
Oh,
I have never heard of that before. It's usually one, and that's it. And that's rare.
Yeah. But Jasper has always been the big pain getting pills down. We even remember when he needed the.
Did we say hi to Miss Leah?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
All right, girlfriend, I gotta put you down a little bit here. You're putting the arm to sleep. All right, but the little pill pockets you can buy like in the Walmart section for dogs.
Okay,
They don't work with our breed. They'll eat the pill part itself and still spit the pill out.
Yeah, I knew Preston didn't like liver.
Yeah. All right, come on. All right, go look out your door. Nope, I'm not going out. Nope.
There was only one liver that I liked. And that lady was the only one that got me to start a piece of liver and finish it. And that was her mother. Was the only woman that actually made liver that I actually kind of liked.
Yeah, my mom could cook it.
Chicken livers, I don't mind so much. As long as they're bread.
Yeah, what's up with that? Yeah. Oh, I got on my Ancestry today. They have opened up a lot more I now
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much know where my German side where we came from. And I cannot say the name to save my life. Heidelberg?
Yeah, they're down a little bit. I think they're. Oh gosh, when I looked, I think they were like 275 a dozen, but that's been a little bit yet.
Yeah, they're getting more doable around here.
I like getting the scrambled eggs in the jug because that's what we eat a lot. I like my runny yolky eggs, but
Yeah, but it was easier for storage.
for storage guys, because you can put 18 dozen eggs is what that wide because you got 3 eggs and then what
Yeah.
9 down the side or something like that. So you got a big pack for 18 dozen eggs. It's in a refrigerator that an RV cooler or whatever. That'd be cool. Which is open. Hold on. There, I didn't close it. Those jugs hold 18 eggs and they take up way less space. You can get 2 or 3 of them in the space of about 2 of them in the space of an 18 egg carton. That was from Worms, Germany.
Yep. I can't, I mean, to do full access, it's like $155 now for 6 months to get in over there where I might be able to find more of his family too. But it's finally showed me.
Liverwurst, I can eat liverwurst.
My mom liked that stuff. I got to be in the mood for it. And when we buy it, I try to buy the smallest tube. My mom loved that stuff. But yeah, it was neat because I was going back through. I got an email about an update through our DNA. So yeah. So I went on there just to see, what they did now, and yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, so they went down even more. They're down 250.
Yeah. Coyote, yeah, and Coyote. I wonder what
They brought me a piece of meatloaf yesterday from Coyote.
Oh man. They got
Man, I know that man. I'm telling you, they make the best meatloaf around here, other than yours. They haven't topped yours yet. And I'm not just saying that. This woman here can make some. Yeah, she can make some meatloaf now. Let me tell you.
That's all right. I was teasing him with the taco salad Saturday. My sister made her sausage gravy and biscuits. I was just rubbing it into him what all he's missing right now. And then, of course, the peach cobbler. Poor Tim was missing that too. Huh. But it was funny because we did the gathering at my oldest brother's house.
Yeah. Kenny eat liver and all that other stuff, but he won't eat an avocado.
Yeah. But he calls me up and he goes, Beck, can you make Mom's potato salad for Saturday? And I said, you're talking to the wrong sister. He goes, what? I said, I've never made Mom's potato salad.
Hey, remind me never to eat liver mush.
Yeah. I go, you got to call Wanda. I said, she's the potato salad maker. That's our oldest sister. He's like, okay, well, he got sick and didn't get the call her, but somebody else had made potato salad. It wasn't bad.
So when do you get to see your lawyer? Because we want some cobbler.
Wednesday.
And if he says you can head back, you're heading back then, aren't you?
I'm going to have to tell the pulmonary doctor I got to go. I can't do this much longer here. I'm all right. This would be almost, it feels like another sinus infection coming. Yeah, I brought my smaller Dutch oven, and that's what I made the cobbler in, was the Dutch oven through the oven here. Oh, the lawyer about what? Go ahead.
What are you looking at me for? It ain't me, it's you.
You're the one brought it up.
Oh. Because with her back and everything, she's going for the disability.
I'm done.
The surgery didn't take, and her asthma and everything
Well,
else.
this is what's confusing. Okay, the doctor that did the surgery was through South Bend Orthopedics. I cannot remember his name. He's the one that looked at Roy's back and said, there's nothing wrong with your bones. I can't do nothing for you. He did my surgery. He's the one that also sent me
That
to
is not what he said.
to
Yo,
you.
you got that all wrong. When he looked at my back, he said there was nothing wrong with me. I could go back to work.
To work.
And he released me back to work. I couldn't
Yeah.
even walk.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with your bones. You can go back to work.
But because I wasn't a Notre Dame athlete, he was the Notre Dame bone doctor. He's still there. I can't think of his name. But because I wasn't a Notre Dame athlete, I had great insurance though.
Yeah.
He said that he wasn't going to make a bunch of money off me. So I mean that ain't what he said, but he wasn't going to make a bunch of money off me. So he said there wasn't nothing wrong with me, so he could get to that Notre Dame athlete and that was waiting in line, and he could make a bunch of money off that Notre Dame athlete because Notre Dame, they pay for everything. And
anyhow, he did my back surgery. He's also the one that sent me to the doctor that did the injections in the back that probably did the damage to my nerves. Anyhow, the neurologist said my surgery fusion never took. He said it did and sent me back to work with no work restrictions. So they were having me lift, remember, driving a fork truck almost 8 hours a day, and I think it just made it worse. So I did a big post on my Facebook page.
hey, you should look at Jolly's
What?
comment.
Okay, yeah. He did.
You're going to have to start looking out here for stuff like that.
I know. But right now, until this gets settled, I'm kind of stuck here.
Yeah.
He said the left leg has severe nerve damage, which we knew, but he documented it. And, oh, hold on.
But yeah, that's what she's doing back there. She's going for that because her back is definitely screwed. Her lungs are screwed up.
Yeah.
Your head's
Hey,
screwed
there's
up.
Justin and Christina. Hear her cry.
Going by ya.
But yeah, it's in my right leg now. There's carpal tunnel, severe carpal tunnel in my right hand, and the left hand isn't far from it. There is something going on with my neck. I go back to him June. Hey, pretty girl. Yeah, forget it. I don't exist. But when's this June?
She's kind of high pitched. She'll get it eventually, Rashaya. Because I mean, with everything that's wrong with her, they'll deny, but eventually they can't. They have to give it up. But I mean, I've seen her feet draw up. She got worse problems, and I got 4 vertebrae fused, and I'm on disability. I've been on it since 2003. It took me 3 years, but I didn't fight it. I had the lawyer take her time.
Go that side of me. Go that way, with that way. Go this way.
Because it made the check bigger.
Beautiful.
But
Baby's good.
Says $20 for it.
That ain't bad.
she has more problems
They move all the time.
than I had. My back problems were before my surgery, but then after my surgery, I'm on a 10-pound weight restriction for the rest of my life.
Cool.
She's going to be on the same one, if not less.
Yeah.
She has more issues with her back than I ever had.
Yeah.
I found a way to get my sandals on and off without having to fight with them. I slide them up over the.
Yeah, I have a lawyer. He
It's one of the reasons she's back there.
well, if the other one, the other lawyer that was supposed to handle my case, or what do you call it, his aide got terminated. She dropped the ball on my case and a few others. I should have been seeing this doctor last year. So, but anyways, in June I go back to see him. and he's going to go over everything more thoroughly with my test. So that's what's going on. I found my pulmonary doctor that treated me after my week stay in the hospital. I'm going
And
to.
all these doctors are going to bat for her this time around.
I
Or she
might
didn't do that
have
the other time.
to push my appointment up. She's wanting to try to get me an allergy shot I could give myself. So we'll go with that. But if I'm struggling the last 2 days. It's been bad here for me. Couldn't even stick my nose outside, and I hate it because it's a beautiful day.
You know, I hate the fact that they make the people that actually are disabled and actually fight for it. But
Okay,
yet
Dolly.
they'll hand it out to an alcoholic or something like that. Because I have an alcoholic friend that really could not have been an alcoholic if he'd have tried a little bit harder, but he was one of them borderlines, you know. But he played the system. I'm an alcoholic, and he got approved within 30 days for being an alcoholic. Another friend, she passed on though. She was an alcoholic. She also had got it within. I think she had gotten
My
hers within
cousin.
90 days. Oh yeah, your cousin too. That's right. Yeah.
Sorry, there wasn't nothing wrong with him but lazy butt syndrome. And then
And,
he found out he wasn't going to get all this money like he thought, remember?
But
It
the
never worked. He wouldn't work.
actual physically disabled ones that are actually physically somewhat or some sort of disability, they have to fight hard for it. I just don't get this system. And it's always been that way.
Yeah.
They considered it a disease, and it fell into the disability category. But she will get it eventually.
Yeah.
Probably this time around. Now that she's got all these other doctor reports this time for the hearing and everything.
Well, and I got it.
Your
he's got
neurologist
an
is actually going to
assistant
show
that's
up
dead
at
on
the
it.
hearing. I can't. What'd you say?
Mimi's on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your neurologist is actually going to show up at this hearing and everything.
If need be. If I need him, he will show up.
That's
He
what
will
I
do
said. It will be there if you need him.
Yeah. I can't hear you. You're like,
Um,
but so yeah, we'll go from there and see what happens. Nope, they denied me.
The doctors, they really went to bat for me. I've heard that out here. We should have actually just started it out here, but we didn't.
I didn't live in Arizona technically.
Because she's because Indiana residents and everything, she had to go back and do it up there.
Otherwise, I would have had to wait until Arizona accepted me as a citizen. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, whatever. You've seen how easy that was. You walk in, even with expired license, you don't even have to read an eye chart. You can be blind, and they'll hand you a driver's license.
Oh, and by the way,
yeah, okay.
check your email, homeboy.
For what?
Indiana said you got it about the car plate.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's almost July.
Right now, that's why I got the lawyer involved. And then, I mean,
you have a great day, Monetti.
They have been on it since I come back. We had to go through their hearing because that judge would not grant him, I don't remember what he called it, continuance, due to his assistant not doing her job. They wouldn't even grant me an extra month for him to try to get more stuff updated. So now we're doing that appeal. I go talk to him Wednesday now, and he's going to see what's going on. He says he's got to call Indianapolis now to see what's going on. But, yep. And what really hurt me is the factory that I worked at. When I did hurt myself, that supervisor didn't fill out an accident report. It was my word against his word because he didn't want to lose their safety bonus. So I've paid the price, which is weird because in the long run, after this surgery, remember, the factory somehow paid for it all. So yeah.
Yeah, the cobalt.
Yep.
RV and Tiana's Fusion, and it all runs out on the 28th of July.
Yeah.
I haven't decided whether I'm going to plate out here or back.
I would plate the car. Get a longer plate, remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but he's been good. I mean, he like I said, he didn't get a chance to do any updating because when they gave me my hearing, he thought all this stuff had been done through his assistant, and she hadn't. She had only obtained one file for me, and that was through my primary, we call it family doctor, and that was it. She didn't go through the pulmonary doctor or any, and she was supposed to send me to this neurologist, and she never did anything. And that explains why she wouldn't answer my calls and that. Remember, I kept calling her. Yeah. So yeah, he has a new assistant. She's been on it. Soon as I come back, and they were on it.
She'd have got it that last time if she'd have had that neurological report.
Mm-hmm.
But her lawyer said
Yeah.
that she will definitely get it because now they have everything that they need, and they didn't have any of that when they went in.
They didn't have anything other than my health care, the diabetes.
Yeah.
Part. That was it.
That's where the schoolie talk came from. When she does, that's where the schoolie's coming from. And everything we need for it. And then the emergency fund is going to get replenished and not touched unless it's an emergency. Well, we didn't touch it though, except for emergencies the last time.
Yeah, I drained the account when I got sick out there.
And then we'll be back to all right like we were because we make it on my income. There's not a lot left over with my income, but we do make it on my income, which is like $1,500 to $1,700 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Hers is going to be strictly emergency and for us to enjoy a few things, but it's going to go right back in an emergency fund, most of it. Because you got to have that out here. That's I am so nervous right now not having that. We've been pushing our luck the last 2 years without it.
Well, we also figured with the schoolie, like say after I get done and I find a doctor out there and they think I really need to have my back redone, we're going to need a wider walkway than what we got in Honey too. Can you see me trying to squeeze through with the walker?
Wider walkway? We put this bed up and the walkway is just fine, but you will have a wider walkway in the bus anyway. Yeah. You don't want it too wide because we were having this discussion last night on another live stream.
Yep.
You know, like right now, you noticed it. I go to fall in here like I tripped over a moose. All I got to do is stick my arm out and I'm catching something. I get in the sticks and bricks and fall, I'm going to die. The first fall I get, I'm going to die. Because there's nothing to look around you. You got nothing to grab if you're in the middle of the room.
You're close against your cabinets and your furniture, yeah.
Yeah, that's it will double the income. There was a time when she was even working at the factory. I was making more on disability than she was. Not by much. That didn't last long though. You passed me after a while.
Yeah.
But I worked my butt off when I worked. And they said that it sped my back problems up. I got degenerative disc disease. My backbone's rotting away.
I just broke mine.
But yeah, that's I'm not sitting out here because I can't afford to get back to Indiana. I can afford to get back to Indiana. Moving every 2 weeks. This is what we were supposed to do out here to start with. It's just you add all that money up. And then turn around with gas prices now, and then turn around by winter, and then turn around, come all the way back out here. You've seen how long it was taking us every 2 weeks last year to get out here.
Yeah.
It's why we made the decision we did this year was to keep the rig out here. You go back, do your stuff, and then come back.
Yeah.
we were prepared if she had to sit there, and she still may have to. It's not done
Yeah.
yet.
We
were
don't
prepared
know.
for her to sit there a year because that neurologist said he needs a year for the test. Well, he got all
No,
that
he's
stuff done.
done.
Yeah, so there's no year for that. And uh, it's so that was the main reason we made that choice. When we turned around, when we were coming out here, when we left Indiana, and we were moving every 2 weeks, and I thought, man, it's going to be April by the time we get out there moving like this. That's why we made the choice to leave the rig here. I babysit the dogs in the rig. CRView babysit me.
Yeah.
And we'll just wait. I mean, it's good things come to those who wait, and that's what we're doing. I mean, it's sacrifices we got to make to improve this lifestyle that we love so much that we don't want to lose because we don't have the income that we had. We don't have that emergency fund that we had. I mean, Becky's first year ate that up. We came out here with 10 grand in an emergency fund. After we had bought honey and everything we needed, we still had 10 grand. I said, that's the emergency fund. We came out here, Becky's insurance wouldn't pay for nothing. We had to pay for everything, medication, doctor visits, all this stuff. And it ate it up fast. Then honey needed a starter, needed a alternator. No, the starter was later. Not alternator. A water pump went out on us.
Yeah.
Water pump in the rig went out. Both water pumps, the house water pump and the motor water pump went out. Honey needed a few little things that first year too that kind of ate that away. And so, like I said, we've been pushing our luck. And eventually that luck is going to run out. And I don't want to be in a bad situation when it does. So that's why we've slowed down. We're taking
Yeah, we've had that, and it was kind of getting hard on us moving all the time too.
Not really. That's what we came out here for, but it was not, and really not. Almost financially, it was that close. And then it got to the point, one mistake in the bank account, and it took months to recover, and that happened. It was, I didn't like it. I did not like it at all, and that's why you kind of have noticed that we haven't been moving around as much. I had to rescue one to bring you home. But we're gonna. I mean, it ain't gonna be this way forever. We're gonna be situated back to where we were when we come out here, and we enjoy it now, and we don't want to give it up. And I was getting really worried about having to give it up and go back and be miserable, wanting to travel and not being able to, and like, no. We're going to do what it takes so we can stay out here. But, I don't want to be one of these rigs sitting on the side of the road that gets towed somewhere, and now I can't afford to get my rig fixed, and I'm on here on YouTube begging for help. I don't want to be one of those channels. It's one thing when people offer help, but it's different, I think, when you're out there. You knew better. You put yourself in that situation. And it's harsh to say, but it's actually reality.
Oh,
We don't want to depend on other people.
I'm stepping down, guys. I gotta get
Yeah.
some. All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Where are you going?
Make me something to eat.
Are you staying down there, or are you getting home?
I'm staying down. All right.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Enjoy your Monday. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, then that's where a lot of people screw up, Jolly. They come out here and they move every 2, 3, 4 days. They can't sit still. And then you see those channels later on, I'm broke. Or you'll see them with need gas on their rigs, a sign on their rigs. We don't want to become one of them. I mean, you know, that's their prerogative. That's fine. And people to help them, that's fine. That's great. You know? But if it's avoidable, we want to keep it avoidable as much as possible. There's other people out there that deserves it more, and that's what we want. We don't want to be focused on if something was to happen. Other people deserve it. So she sits back down there. I'm gonna probably call this one an end, and then sit and chat with her for a while. But it just it's the last 2 years. We like I said, we've been lucky. You know, we see other ones break down. I mean, look, beach cricket broke down in Phoenix, and it cost $7,000 for. Though I think she got highway robbed though, $7,000 to replace her transmission. That's ridiculous. Um, Personally, I think she got robbed because she was a woman on that. Um, but she knows her stuff too. But I think she got taken advantage of because there are garages out there that still do that to women, and that's not right. That transmission, labor wise, should not have cost no more than $3,500 to swap a used transmission out and put that. That was $7,000. That was crazy. We gave $3,500 for this whole rig. No, it's not being nosy. It's part of life. We've been discussing it, how he's going to discuss it anyway, but it's part of life. And it just goes to show you how this government actually works when it comes to disabled. The actual true people that are, I know they got to watch out for the ones that beat the system. But when you show up there and you've got this stuff, and then they say, no, like me, they denied me twice. And then when it came to my hearing, I didn't have to go to my hearing. The judge called the lawyer that day and said, we don't know why he's not approved. You guys don't need to come up here. We're approving him. I was on a 10-pound weight restriction the rest of my life. YouTube on the web we provide. Hold on, where's predator? Yeah, predatory shops. That's what they're called. And I think she went to one. I mean, $7,000. Her rig is either a 90 or a late 80s. I can't remember, but it has the same front end as Honey. It doesn't have the Ford flush headlights. It has the old square headlights that you take out, the bulbs. The square bulbs, just like Honey. So $7,000 for an older rig, and it a shuttle bus. Nothing underneath it to take out of the way. No tanks, no pipes, no nothing. Yeah, people. I get so aggravated at that. Good. You need to report them. But I honestly think that's what happened to her. Because when I heard when she said 7,000, I was like, "Oh, you could buy 2 rigs for that." That's what it's. Yeah, I think we're so going green, Mom. They keep denying them, so they'll get tired and fighting and just they'll go get a job. Well, it's kind of hard to get a job when you can't breathe. Mine, they put me on it because they classified me as unreliable, which I was a reliable worker. I worked so much it put me at maximum pay at the age of 32. For my disability, I was at maximum payout. I had worked so many hours and so much time. The guy that did my case was like, "No wonder your back's broke." Becky's pretty close to it too. Forgot what I was saying. I totally forgot where I was going with that. Oh, but yeah, and they denied that. It was crazy, and that wasn't where I was going with that. But I don't remember where I was going with that. But mine is degenerative disc disease. Like I said, I got 4 vertebrae that's fused. we get more family out here, they're more welcome to come out. I told myself out solo women, get in the shop, seeing these contractors stand there and look straight enough for them to get the idea not to rip women off. Yeah, exactly. You know, and I known other transmissions out here that have been swapped out, and it was around $3,500, you know, to swap out a used tranny and put one in. You know, I thought Honey was going to need one, but Honey doesn't need a transmission. Honey's transmission works great. It was probably me not letting it warm up long enough before hauling a house around. But yeah, 7,000. That blew my mind when I found out about that. I was like, whoa, that was crazy. Crazy. I mean, the transmission shouldn't cost no more. To get one rebuilt, I think, is around 2,000 now. That's a good way to determine an emergency fund when living in a rig. A breakdown, a health matter, running out of food, which we never did. We never ran out of food. That would be an emergency. Having to get somewhere in a certain time frame would be an emergency, I guess. Like, say, for a medical emergency, funeral, something. This camera sucks. I need to add that to the supply list too. Yeah, everything's getting way expensive. But that's our plan. When she does get approved, we're going to improve the rig, improve the support vehicle. Probably buy a little piece of land up there in Williams, so we got a place to fall back onto if they close the forests and that up there, and that'd be our western base to where we can go to Oregon, go to Washington, northern part of California, Nevada, and still have that central area out here to go fall back like a home base. We got the home base in Indiana. I wish that was a little further south in the middle of the Midwest there, but it is what it is. It's up north. Camera zooming in because I keep moving. This camera is horrible. Becky's got the good one. I think I'm gonna. If Walmart's got another one, I may pick up another one, but not this one. And there's Becky's cousin. She is getting lunch. So she's not there. More and more people driving older vehicles around here. I've always been an older vehicle type. I've never had a brand new one. I've had a couple year old one, year and a half old, IROC Z28. That was the newest one I've ever had. Yeah, and the Fusion, the Ford Fusion that we sold our daughter, I think was a year and a half old too when we got it. But I've always heard that, you know, the new ones got bugs, so I was one of those. Oh, we'll just wait, let people get a few years on them, get all the bugs worked out, and then we'll go buy a used one, which is what we did. But even more than these used vehicles on a car lot, used vehicles are getting outrageously expensive. Some of these private people though think their used vehicles are close to brand new. It should be worth close to brand new price. I don't know what's up with that. That's crazy. You know, Desert Adventures in Arizona was discussing that this morning. You know, gave $150 for a car back then. You know, it wasn't nothing to go out and find $100 car, drag it home, fix a few things on it, and drive it for 2 or 3 years. You know, my dad did that with Pintos. Like I said, at one time, not at one time. We did not have 20 Pintos at one time. We had about 20 during my growing up time at home. Altogether, we had about 20. We had 5 at one time on the road running. I think 9 was on the property though at that time, but 5 of them was actually running that we drove. The other 4 were donor cars. But it wasn't nothing for my dad to be cruising around and all of a sudden your head's up against the window wondering, why are we doing a sudden U-turn in the middle of a highway, Dad? And he's found a pinto behind a barn somewhere, got weeds growing around it. We never did have a hatchback. They were always, we did have one hatchback, but it was a donor car. Always station wagons. And he'd pull up in the yard, hey, that pinto for sale. And he'd end up buying a pinto for $50, drag it back. You know what's wrong with most of them? Timing belt broke on them. Just a rubber timing belt. We got to where we could change these timing belts like in 5 minutes with our eyes closed and one arm tied behind our backs. But the little, the pintos had the 1600s, they had the 2000s, and then the 2300s. And then you couldn't combine parts from one engine to the other. My dad could. We had 1600 parts on 2000 parts. We had 2000 parts on 2300 parts. That's the engine size. 2300, 2000, the 1600s. The 1600s was in the earlier ones, and then 2000s was in the mid years, and then towards the end, of course, they put 2300s in just about everything they had then. Me and Becky did buy a rental car once, and I tell you, that was a good little car. But yeah, for a while, people just called our we had 7.5, or it was either 11.5 or 7.5 acres we had there back in Indiana, and people started calling us the Pinto Ranch. Moving over to Miami, hey, howdy. We'd take a motor out of one, put it down in another one, no problem. We had this one time, my dad and my uncle and me. My uncle was up on the come along. He was running the come along. We was pulling this 2000 out of that green hatchback, as a matter of fact. And that thing was rusted crazy, but it had a great motor in it. So Dad got this station wagon, little brown wood paneled station wagon. And he gonna take his motor out of this green one and put in that brown paneled station wagon, which is the one I ended up driving all the time. So they're up there. My uncle's on top of this pinto, and he's cranking on this come along. Dad's under the car, making sure the tranny lines and that's not getting caught on stuff and speedometer cables, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, basic hookups on these engines. Well, the motor gets stuck on something. My uncle, he can't get it to budge any higher without really cranking down on this come along. And my dad, he's trying to figure out what's it stuck on. Well, Dad gave up. He said, just crank on it. It'll pop out of here. Well, my uncle's up there pulling on that come along. I'm standing off to the side next to the wood stove. And the front wheels started coming up off the ramp. This is how stuck this motor was in this car. My uncle was cranking. My dad's under the car, and he's like, keep going. It'll give. And so my uncle's up on top of this. He's up on the cowl of the roof of the windshield, and he's cranking on this come along. And all of a sudden, something popped. Now, we had the back wheels chalked up really well with big chunks of wood because we had wood stove in the garage. So this motor let loose in this car. The car drops back down on the ramps. My dad's underneath this thing, but it never fell nothing to get him. But he's underneath this thing. This motor pops out of this car, goes up, turns. They had both of these cars nose to nose. Motor coming out of this car, going in this car. This car already had its motor out. So they were going to pull this motor out, push this car back, push this car forward, spin the motor around on the cable, drop the motor down in. We did this 100 times with other cars. It worked flawlessly every time. That time the motor got stuck. It let loose. Car drops down on the ramps. The other car, this car, drops down on the ramps. This motor, I think it was a 2000 lightweight 4-cylinder. It comes flying, spins completely around, comes down, and lands perfectly in that other car. We had to raise the back of the transmission up, put the cross member in there, but it landed down on the motor mounts, right where it should be. They stood there in amazement, smoking about 3 cigarettes. They chain smoked that day in amazement that just happened. It broke the come along when it came down. But never seen that before in my life or ever again. But that motor, it did. It come out of that car and then spun completely around, and when it came down, snapped the come along and fell right into that car perfectly. We drove that car. We sold that car with that motor in it. But we drove that car. I think it was another 2 years for Dad finally sold it. But that's the one I drove all of it. That's also the one that wouldn't go above 55 mile an hour unless you were going downhill. No one got hurt. Surprisingly, I don't understand how nobody got hurt in my dad's garage with everything that went on. I did once, come to think about it. Yeah, I did, as a matter of fact. He knocked me out cold. We were moving. Dad had another garage. We were moving. Actually, I think we were moving to the house where we had all the panels at, I believe. I think so. So Dad got these big 6x6 wooden beams in the garage to pull motors out with. And he pulled out of Cadillacs, big motors. Well, he ain't going to take his beams with him. So I go in the garage, and I think I'm 11 years old at the time. So I'm going to help Dad take these beams down. So I'm helping Dad take these beams down, and I get down off my ladder, my step ladder, and I'm standing next to the big upright beam. And Dad only had the beam going across, sitting on top of them other two beams. Well, he didn't see me standing there by the pole, and we got it loose, and he flipped it, rolled it to where it would come down and land on the floor. Well, it didn't land on the floor; it landed directly on top of my head. Life of Lucretia, howdy, howdy. And I remember waking up on the floor. And I seen floaties and all kinds of things. And Dad's like, "You okay? You okay?" I don't know. Governance, I don't know. That one wasn't really governed. It was just, that motor just didn't have no power. Oh yeah, it was a motor that I'm like, "Get up, walk it off, help me get this beam in this truck." Well, Dad, you just made me look like a unicorn. That's what happened to me. But yeah, that was the memories. But yeah, that was back then. Yeah. So what? You just had a beam land on your head. Get up and help me move this beam to this truck. Oh, parenting was so much different back then, wasn't it? Like that meme that runs around here. Yeah, I died once, but my mom made me get up and walk it off. Yeah, some of these memes are actually true, though. And this beam was 9 foot in the air, maybe? Yeah, I think it was 9 foot. I think we had 10-foot ceilings in the garage. But it's a little single car garage. If you had a car in there working on it, you didn't park anything else in there. Then we moved out to this farmhouse and had that big barn in there. And boy, Dad was in heaven. He was pumping everything out of that barn. It died once. Yeah, there's a meme that goes around on Facebook every now and then. It pops up. Yeah, I died once, and my mom made me walk it off. It doesn't kill you; it makes you stronger. Yeah. And I think it might have been a 6x8. It seemed like it was taller than it was widthwise, but it was maybe 8x10, but strong enough to hold a Cadillac 454. Well, that's a Chevy. I don't know what Cadillacs were 501s. That's right. Yeah, it was strong enough to hold a 501. Out of a, well, then again too, I don't know if they had the 501s in the 70s and 80s Cadillacs. They're always setting engines on fire, cutting off ends of their fingers. I blew the tip of my finger off once. You can't tell by looking. I didn't blow it off. I blew it open. I rebuilt the carburetor on my ex-father-in-law's truck, and I was putting the fuel filter in line on it. And the wrench slipped, and it came down, and my body weight landed on, it was my body weight that caused this. And I was a skinny guy then. I only weighed 95 pounds then, maybe 100 wet. I came down on the valve cover, right at the corner of the valve cover, and I had that wrench right in my hand. And, like you hold a wrench, and the weight of me squished my hand down on top and my fingers between that wrench and me, and it split the end of my finger open. I bled like crazy over that. So no seatbelt to ride in truck beds. Oh yeah. Well, and my dad, like, to learn me how to ride a bike, takes me to the top of a hill, takes my training wheels off, puts me on the bike. No helmet, no nothing, no pads, nothing. I don't even think I seen a bike helmet until 90s. This was in 1980. Puts me at the top of a hill, puts me on that bicycle, and shoves me off. I'm going down thinking I'm having a good old time. Yay! Well, there was a 67 Pontiac GTO at the bottom of that hill that Dad didn't move. Of course, he thought I'd steer around it too, and I didn't. And I went right. Big old bumper, and there was one of the bumpers that went around the grill, both sides, with the two headlights that stuck up on the side. Might have been a 66. Yeah, I hit that bumper. Bam! Again, get up, walk it off, come back up here. Yeah, we never had none of that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, though, I knew how to ride a bike. Let me just win. Took me out the lake to let me go. Yeah, nobody ever did that. Well, my cousin did that to me. Yeah, hey, you want to learn how to swim? Choop! Threw me right in the darn river. Like, throw the kid in the water and tell them to paddle their butts off. Yeah, I hit that car, and he's like, "Why didn't you steer around it?" Not like, "Are you okay?" No, it was like, "Why didn't you steer around the car?" Nowadays, they wrap their kids in bubble wrap and send them off. I needed it that day, though. The joys of childhood. I don't know. Jeez, what are you doing down there? Very nice. What are you doing? Oh, she's getting her a drink. Swimming. I'm glad they didn't do that with hunting. Here's a gun. There's the woods. Go get some food. I never try to teach a kid that way. They hate you. You teach them, which is damn shame. Yeah, definitely different nowadays than it was back then. And then it was even, before them growing up. Their parents was even, you lost a limb. Well, that's okay. We got to harvest the cotton today. I'm not a very good. I can do it, but I'm not a very good swimmer. She don't know what she's doing down there. She getting her lunch all situated. I should probably start mine. What is it? 11:40. It's not even noon yet. Of course, I had an early breakfast. My toast. I had swimming lessons. I do remember being dropped off at swimming lessons somewhere. I do remember that. Apparently, I couldn't learn. What I do know of swimming, I basically taught myself, which is not very good. And I can't float. I've tried, people sit there and they'll be in the water and they're just floating away. I cannot do that. I've tried and tried and tried. Nope, I cannot do it. We either survive or we did back. Yeah. It was a fun time. I will say that. It was growing up back in the 70s and 80s. It was a lot of fun. These kids today, 90s kids, 90s kids really didn't. It was all basically, we were the guinea pigs in the 80s and the 70s for the 90s. and the 2000s, and even the 20s and the 10s. Wow. Yeah. I taught gun safety as a 7-year-old. I was an expert dog paddle swimmer. I think it's a dog. Well, Becky said it's like a funny dog paddle. Hit my head in the seawall. Ooh, seawall. And got trapped. Oh, jeez. Walked the YMCA. So we didn't have none of that in the little town that we were in. Right this way, when he was taller, I got in the pool. He jumped in and went down, popped right back up. Hunting with my dad. My dad never was a hunter. My uncles were, my cousins, but my dad never was. My dad just went to work. That was basically it. Went to work, come home. Went to work, come home. Work on car. Went to work, come home. Work on car. That was all my dad ever did. We go fishing every now and then. Caught up there. She must be making a huge lunch, like a 5-course dinner down there or something. I've small game hunted with my cousins, rabbits, squirrels, stuff like that, but I've never really hunted for deer or anything like that. There's ice on Big Lake up in Indiana. I was 5 years old. Ooh, I've never heard of Big Lake. Where Big Lake's at? That must be, I'm assuming maybe southeastern. Let's see where that's at. Big Lake, Indiana. Oh, that is. What is that by? Of course, it won't give me no towns. Merman, Wolf Lake, North Webster, Columbia City, north of Columbia City. Okay. Which is, wow, that ain't far from home base. I was really surprised. I haven't heard of that one. And javelina and deer as a kid. I would have liked hunting, I think. Big game. The biggest game we got in Indiana is deer. Ooh. Hey, we're looking to bed, Goofy. It's almost time for the AC. Almost. Let's check the temperature. I kind of try to wait till 92. It's 86 right now. 86 degrees. The next 4 hours. At noon, it will be 87, Jasper. And at 1 o'clock, 89. At 2 o'clock, 91. At 3 o'clock, 91. We'll probably have it on beforehand, though. Move to Pearson's probably about 30 minutes from there. We're on Big Barbie and Barbie chain. I think I've heard of the Big Barbie. I think I have. Got younger. Oh, I thought that said your husband got younger. Your husband let my younger son shoot a gun. Yeah, this scared me half to death. I was in the hospital with my fourth. She was sick in a virus. I think they need to learn. At early, I lost a very good friend. We were kind of dating. We were kind of exploring the waters. She was 13. I was 14. But I lost a good friend to a gun accident that I think if the other kid would have knew gun safety, she would still be alive today. They were kids. that, and that's a hunting neighborhood down there. So, a hunting community. Our whole county basically is. So a lot of kids knew gun safety in that. I'm not so sure if this kid did. But his dad had went to an auction or gun show, bought some guns, and there was a 10 gauge double barreled shotgun that was in the box, and it was taped up. And the kid took that gun out of the box, pointed it at her, point blank range, pulled the triggers. Both barrels went off, and it shot her in the gut, and she died an hour later, I think it was. So he had been trained properly, I don't think that would have happened. This gun had black tape all over it. It was, it probably should have been put up in a more secure location, but at that time in the late 80s, you didn't have to do that with your guns. When we went to school with guns on gun racks, on our pickup, every pickup out in the parking lot had guns in the gun rack. It was just something people didn't do back then because we didn't really need to, and then that happened. But we're in a swamp coat, so 10 hours a day, wash dry. Yo, I still got to work on mine. Jasper's taking notes. Yep. But a lot of my uncles and that, my Cub Scout leader and that, my dad really didn't. He had guns around, but he never really broke his out and shot his, really taught us anything about them. But it was my uncles and my Cub Scout leader and the military and stuff like that that taught me gun safety. But that's we moved channel 4 feet above. But see, that sounds like something I'd do. Move trampoline by the pool. And maybe jump my Huffy bike into it off the trampoline. But yeah, I feel that kids need to be taught at an early age, and it's just something you don't want to go through. She was a great friend, and I think she had just turned 13. Getting ready to start high school. She didn't get a chance to start high school that year. She was an 8th grader. And real sweet girl, too. Real sweet girl. But that's something that you don't ever forget. And, it's why I'm always an advocate of kids need to know safety, because it was kids that caused that accident. And, there's been other accidents, not in our community that I know of, but you hear the kid accidentally shoots another kid. If the kid was taught, then it wouldn't have happened, I think. But that's my opinion. But looks like Becky's back. Well, oh, nope. She don't know what she's doing. She's going away again. More around, they're so bad they accused him. Yeah, they just had one a couple years ago up by us too. It was in another county. A kid had gotten shot accidentally by another one, but I don't know whatever happened to that, but that was the same situation. It was supposed to be an accident, but then found out later the kid didn't like the kid that got shot. The kid that shot the kid didn't like the kid that got shot, so they wasn't really sure if it was an actual true accident. But this come out the bottom of the foot off the apical, round foot. I was wondering what was sitting over there. It was standing straight up and down, like, well, if I can get it to stick. But anyway, it was straight up and down on the table. Yep, you can't bring it back. And this mentality of society getting scared of them is only making it worse, because now there's going to be less people that know safety, in my opinion. And I think it needs to be taught at an early age, even in the schools. And they used to do that, and they don't do that no more. We don't even do that at our reenactments. A lot of our reenactments, you'll notice, we point the gun up above their heads. You just never know. The wadding can come out there, take somebody's eye out. The paper wadding can actually penetrate skin if you're close enough. You could kill a person. You hit them in the neck, in that jugular vein, and in 2 minutes they're going to be dead, and you're going to stand there feeling miserable that you just killed one of your fellow reenactors. A lot of reenactments won't allow the ramrod even in your gun. You have to take it completely out for insurance to cover some reenactments, and you're not allowed to use your ramrod to make it look authentic in that. You see them back in the day, they're using a ramrod, loading up their gun and then shooting. You can't do that in a reenactment. It has happened. People get sucked into the moment where they actually get scared, or they get so adrenaline going that they forget what they're doing. They've seen the elephant now. They've been sucked into this thing. They think they're back in time. You get that feeling. You don't think you're back in time, but you get that feeling that it's pretty real. It happened to me at a big one. I've seen the elephant. I didn't do nothing wrong, but I had that feeling. So I know it's there. But you'll get so excited and forget what you're doing. If you leave that ramrod in that weapon, and it's got, what did we put in ours? Oh, I can't remember the grams now. I want to say 30, but that's probably wrong. It's probably way wrong. But you leave that black powder in there, and it's the only thing in there is that black powder. Once you pull that trigger, that ramrod turns into a missile, and you can kill somebody with it. I got a BB in me right here from a BB gun fight. It's been there since I was a teenager. Yeah, even churches should teach everything. No matter what it is, should teach that gun safety. I'm just a big believer in knowledge for safety like that. Even who was that actor that just had that gun incident? I don't really care for him. Wasn't Russell Crowe? Alex. Was it Alex Baldwin? Just had that incident. Becky's down there shaking her head. Yes. Okay. So it must be him. I don't know why you're not up here saying yes. Oh, she's eating. Okay. I think he should pay for his action. I really do. You don't point. Yeah, Alec Baldwin. I don't care if it's a prop. You don't point at anybody and pull that trigger like that. Especially a prop that can be loaded for real bullets. If it can be loaded for real bullets, then why is it still considered a prop gun? But I think he should be in trouble for that, or I honestly do. If it was me and I did that, I think I should be in trouble for that. You got to be responsible for your actions. Did he get off scot-free? I never heard the end of that. Never heard the end of that. I hope the family takes him for everything he's got. Because I did not like his attitude afterwards about that. John Snyder covered that really, really good. Really good. That aggravates me. That's a smack to the family, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it ain't like it now. It wasn't intentional, as far as I know. It wasn't intentional. Accidents do happen, but a life was lost. He should have been. Yeah, I'm hoping the family takes him for everything he's got. Wow, that aggravates me. He got off scot-free. I didn't know that. I thought it was still pending in the courts yet, and it just hadn't went that far. I knew I know the family sued him for wrongful death, but I don't know how far that's got either. I'm gonna do some checking. Alrighty, folks. Becky's gonna have to go here in a minute, so I'm gonna run down and talk to her real fast. But everybody, she just said she gotta go. So everybody have a great day. And yeah, the person died. Not right. Whole family lost a loved one, and he gets scot free. But anyway, everybody have a great day, because Becky's gonna have to get going, and I want to talk to her a little bit. Pretty sure I wouldn't have dropped him. But everybody have a great day. Thanks for being in here. We'll see you tomorrow. What did that say? But as Desert Adventures in Arizona says, take care, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later, all. Bye.
Real bad boy. I've got a ton of gravel in my shoe, world on my shoulder, heart full of blues. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt. I've been a real bad boy on the town all night, starting to calm down with the morning light. I'm in the dirt, down